And welcome to week number 9 of the MEA Challenge. I'm SSR Mayhem, bringing you tonight's live action here at Virginia International Raceway, the full circuit. And points leader SSR Mark, he just making his debut. We also got a new face in the competition here tonight with LSCM Zombie. So we're about to get things kicked off here. About 11 drivers tonight, so we got a decent field, and it should be really fun racing. And with 1 week left to go, points leader SSR Markey is just a little bit ahead of HDR Daytona, but with Daytona being out tonight, the only person that could really track him down in this race in the point standings would be SSR Mosport. Now, if you do remember, early in the season, HDR Yuko won back-to-back races, week 1 and week 2, and so anything can happen, but had to unfortunately back out from the race season about over midway. So unfortunate circumstances with personal life, and also F4H Scottson as well, along with a couple of others who had to drop out late in the season. So as time goes on here, we will be crowning a champion with 2 weeks left. And just a little bit here, the lobby host will get us going. There's 2 drivers we're waiting on. He's also got to load the track, and so once he loads the track, and we'll be able to actually kick things off. And we'll be able to get in that spectate mode. And Zombie, the number 2 Porsche 919, with us here tonight. Number 11. And an orange Logitech. So we're glad to see him join late in the season. And we'll be going green flag racing here momentarily. It looks like all the drivers are locked and loaded, ready to go. The Epic Racer as well, an old friend of ours from the LSCM couple. We used to be back in LSCM, making his debut in the MEA Prototype Challenge and in all MEA events. A couple of good mentions here, notable mentions here. TX-Ray Topher as well, outside of F4H Scots and HCR Yuko and HCR Daytona, also missing his first race of the season. Had to make some vacation plans, so he will not be here as well tonight. And GT500 Wills, he's been missing for a few weeks. We have kept in contact with him, but looks like he is not going to be able to make tonight's race as well. So Godly Drift looking for his second win of the season. He's been the fastest qualifier. The only guy that was able to put in the 129s here so far this week. Everyone else has been low 30s or high 30s, and also in the 31s and beyond. So just watch out for Godly trying to make a second appearance. Marky's starting about 3-4 positions back, so he's got to kind of work himself through the field tonight. He's actually going to have to challenge himself to seeing what could happen, as this race should be getting underway here momentarily. And so we should be getting going here. SSR Monster, the lobby host. Once he kicks us off, we'll be going here. SSR Nick T looking to finish strong once again. And it looks like everything's good to go here. We're just now getting loaded into the lobby. And we should be ready to go. So as the season dwindles down to the end, we're just, like we said earlier, going to be crowning a champion here soon. And it's still anybody's race. The top 3 to 4 positions in the point standings, rather close, but only 2 of them here tonight, as TX-Ray Topher and HCR Daytona will not make the race, unfortunately. So Mosport trying to, I believe he will start out front of Markey here, who's currently the points leader. And if we look at the point standings real quick here, if I can get it to pull up on my phone. Markey's about 46 points ahead, so Markey will have to have a devastating race for something like that to really close the gap. Now, it's not out of contention yet. We still have one more race after this week, but as of right now, Markey's going to look to get his first MEA title, and his first MEA title, which would be in the Prototype Challenge. We are less than a month away from our first NASCAR race, our first NASCAR season here at MEA. About 30 drivers signed up for that series, so looking forward to that. But we still got this, and if you go to our Twitter poll, we have a poll right now trying to see what people want to see in the future. And so far, that's an M3 series coming up. And here we go. The drivers are loading in, and it looks like there's a couple of problems. Probably some load-in issues, so we're going to have to restart that. And we can't go green yet. So hold on a second here. And Ray. Ray, you need to put 2 pit stops in too.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we had to fix one thing there. They forgot to put the pit stops on outside of that, so we should be get going here very shortly. And if you're just tuning in, this is week number 9 of the MEA Prototype Challenge. All right, and once again, if you're just tuning in, I know I said this a little bit ago, but I see some new faces appearing in my screen. This is week 9 of the MEA Prototype Challenge. Start Mayhem bringing you tonight's live action here at Virginia, the full circuit. And points leader SSR Markey about starting 4th or 5th in this race, I would assume. I actually just lost it on my phone here, so I can tell you he's in the top 5 on the starting grid. And if you're also just tuning in here, I got my chat box up down at the right-hand corner of the screen, so feel free to talk alongside with me, tell me how the race is going. And as you look, here's the grid order. Markey actually starting the 5th position, Eric Speed 4th, 3rd Modsport, 2nd Halo Killboy, who looking to make his first top 5 of the season. He started us back about week 7 at Road America, or I'm sorry, Road Atlanta, I believe, and had gotten into some early issues. Same with Markey. Missed last week's race. Wasn't able to be here with us, but starting 2nd, right next to a season winner here, SSR Godly Drift. So this is looking to be an exciting race. The Epic Racer starting in 8th, 9th will be Speed Bumps, and 10th on the starting grid will be LCM Zombie, who's a late entry here tonight. So here we go. Let's see if this one worked this time. We had a couple disconnection issues the last time, but it's been a little tricky here tonight. We had some party issues with the Xbox party situation, and we just had a disconnection issue for the first race. But we should hopefully be good to go here. All 10 drivers are in, so that's good. All right, so we got something positive going forward here. All right, so here's the starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting on the pole position, number 22, a winner back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway of the MEA Prototype Challenge. He is a 2-time winner in MEA. That'd be number 22, SSR Godly Drift. Starting in the 2nd position, number 50. He has made his first appearance in the MEA Prototype Challenge about 2 weeks ago, and is the number 50 machine. That'd be MXR Halo Killboy. Starting in the 3rd position, he's been with us all season long in the number 14 machine. That would be SSR Mosport, as he's also got a win on the season as well. Starting in the 4th position, has had moments of glamour this season, but also destruction, if you'd like to say so. He starts in the 4th position, number 54, Eric Speed, as he looks to get his first top 5 of the season and also his first win in the MEA Prototype Challenge. And the points leader right now, starting in the 5th position, number 0. He is a 2-time winner on the season so far, and it's looking to make it his 3rd here tonight. He's starting in the 5th position, that'd be SSR Marquis. Starting in the 6th position, he's had a few top 5s on the season, missed a couple of races, but nonetheless is here with us again tonight. That would be the number 33 machine of SSR Nick T, starting in 7th. And they're slowing down. Starting in 7th, SSR Monster, the number 35 machine, as he's had some interesting battles this year with with Eric Speed. Starting in the 8th position, his first time with us in MEA, not a too big of a new face, but is with us here tonight. That would be the number 18 machine of the Epic Racer. And starting in 10th, it's his first appearance in the MEA Prototype Challenge. Not a stranger to the MEA organization, a former driver of LSCM. Even though he has the LSCM on his gamer tag, he is a solo privateer driver in the Forza community. That would be number 11 in the Orange Logitech machine. That would be Zombie. And that's the starting grid tonight. We will ride with SSR Marquis, the points leader, as they get ready to go green flag racing here at Virginia. One of the most trickiest tracks, I would say, in the world. Maybe one of the easier versions, more fair versions. But here we go, as they're about to begin this race. And this is a thriller, 32 laps. More so 31, I'm sorry, pace lap. And here we go. The drivers this season have done nothing but spectacular. They're here with us tonight. Golly Drift on the pole, marking your points here. Mosport looking to close the gap. And here we go. 31 laps of race action is underway. Green flag! And Golly Drift, currently the leader right now. Eric Speed to the outside, but he gets caught by the grass. He loses a few positions. He loses more than a few positions. And that's Eric Speed way off the track. And Eric Speed goes from 4th to 8th just like that in one turn. And now he's going to have to battle his way back to the front. So now, Marquis moves up to the 4th position now. And we were running alongside with him now. Here they go through the little S's. Eric Speed all over the Epic Racer. He's looking to find some room. They go side by side. And no! The Epic Racer gives it up to him. And there he goes. Marquis off the track. Sir Monster's off the track, but we got an accident. Not sure what happened to Monster there. It looked like Marquis got a little bit loose into the turn. Not sure if he got any damage. We're going to find out if he did. And he's got pretty good, he's got some damage. No engine damage, some body damage, some suspension damage. So unfortunate for him, he's got to make his first stop of the race. Marquis got no damage out of that deal, so he's okay. And just like that, a few of the heavy hitters are out of this race, and right now the top two, there he is, looking for his first victory of the season, but he's going to have to catch that man in front of him, Godly Drift. After lap number 1, MXR Halo Killboy looking to impress us here tonight here at Virginia. And Mosport exiting the pits. Or that might have been a Forza glitch. I have no idea why it showed Mosport coming out of the pits like that, but hey. It is what it is. And right behind Halo is Mosport. We have the England, actually I should say the Northern Ireland man in the lead, the American in second, third would be the Canadian. 3 different drivers, 3 different nationalities going at it. And this is fun. This is what we like to see. And it looks like Halo got a nice run through that section. 1, 2, and 3 right in your screen. Still hanging with each other. We'll pull up the race map. And you can see the gap. It looks like we got a battle back there for 4th. SSR Nick T now trying to hold off Eric Speed. Eric Speed into the top 5. After all the incidents he had early in lap number 1, he found his way back up. Granted, I think a couple of the drivers pitted, but nonetheless, he's back up there and he's battling. He says, hey, buddy, I need to get back up to the front. So Nick T now looking to defend his 4th place position now from Eric Speed. So far, the tricky track here at Virginia has taken effect on a few of the drivers. One of those is the points leaders, SSR Markey. He's now back up to 6th. And Monster, who probably got the worst end of the whole ordeal, back in that 10th position now. Now, Golly Drift, the fastest driver on the track, back at lap number 2. He's got a 1:29, I believe a 1:29.7 it showed on the screen back. It looks like Nick T's found a little bit of a groove now. He's kind of getting a gap with Eric. Eric was on his rear bumper there, and now it looks like he's losing ground on him. We'll come back to these guys in a little bit. We'll move up a little bit. Looks like Golly Drift is starting to drift himself away from Halo. And he has. Oh, I'm sorry. Halo's in 3rd, so something happened to Halo Killboy there. And Modsport up to 2nd. And it looks like we have a battle back there for 9th now. Monster, who was off the track earlier, is now looking to get his sights in the 9th position of Speed Bumps, who's in the Audi right there. So Porsche versus Audi here. And Speed Bumps, it's a little wide, going through the big S. And they're side by side. Coming off the final turn, they touch. And Speed Bumps spins out in the final turn there. Just a little tap by both drivers, both of them getting loose. Speed Bumps got the worst end of the whole deal there. Move further up the track, and there's LCM Zombie. Trying to catch up to the Epic Racers in the 7th position right now. And you see right there, SSR Marking now in the 5th position. Eric Speed dropping back to 6th. So Eric Speed back down a couple of spots. And there he is, the points leader, now having to make up a lot of ground after early instances in this race. And it looks like there's another battle there. Halo back to the 2nd position now. We're going to hang on with these two because these two have been swapping positions. The battle for second is on between Halo Killboy and Mozport. Just a lap ago, we saw Halo lose the position. Now he regained it. Yo, Mozport getting some speed. Halo doing a little defending now. And Mozport putting a lot of pressure on him. Nick T right there trying to catch up to both of them. So Halo just trying to defend his position right now. So here we go. Halo doing a little defending, holding an inside line, but gets a little loose, catches the grass! Hangs on though, what a save! And right there in the background, SSR Nick T. Looks like he's starting to creep up on these guys just a little bit. Ooh, getting a little loose. And Mozport smashing the brakes, trying not to get into the rear end of MXR Halo there. And Golly Drift is just long gone. He is nowhere in sight. And Mozport looks to the inside. Can he hold it? They're side by side coming off the turn, but Mozport doesn't get the speed he wants. And Halo's able to maintain it, but Halo's a little wide there as well. He's able to hold on to it, keep it on the inside. Mozport is putting all kinds of pressure on him. And Zombie looks like he DC'd out of the race, but Mozport, something happened to Mozport. Looks like he hit the wall, the tire wall. And Nick T will go right by him as well. Mozport with an issue. He has 100% steering damage, all body damage, and 100% driveline damage. So Mozport gonna have to make a pit stop here, unfortunately, after that occurring incident here, lap number 9. And really unfortunate as SSR marking now right behind him. And Mozport not able to hold on to the car. He goes a little wide. So now he'll drop down to 5th. Eric Speed now making his way up there. Can he get around before he gets to the pit road? If he does, that's a huge break for Eric, as he's had his fair share of issues early in the race. And there's speed bumps getting out of the way of the two drivers going on by. Looks like he went off the track a little bit there. Now Mosport will get into the pits right before Eric gets a chance. Oh! Mosport having problems into the pits! Wow. He's having all kinds of problems. Definitely pit stop is well needed for the driver. And here's SSR Nick T now. He's looking to track down Halo, who's currently in the second position. Halo's got some breathing space now. Oh, no, he doesn't! Something happened to Halo. He lost a ton of ground from second to third. See if he's got any engine damage, and he doesn't, but we can't really tell from that because we have a glitch on his damage. We'll pull up the race map here, and you're going to see the gap. The race leader, Golly Drift, just so much farther ahead. And Mosport, after the incident, after his pit stop, drops all the way back into 7th. He's got quite a bit of ground to make up. I wonder how much time he lost, but nonetheless, he's back on the track, and we'll see what happens. This track has been nothing but problems so far early in the race. You know, we talked the last few weeks about Godly Drift and consistency issues, and so far he's been pretty consistent throughout this race. You gotta wonder, can it keep up? And where his confidence level right now, because we saw the last couple weeks he's been in good battles, and just seems like every time he has a chance, an opportunity, something went wrong. But right now he's way out front. No one to challenge him, no one in front of him, no lap traffic. He can run his own race at a consistent rate, and if he can keep that up tonight, he'll definitely take home the win, because clearly he's one of the fastest drivers on the track. It shows with a 1:29.9. That's his fastest lap so far in this race. And right now, Nick T putting down some times and has really got up there and inside the top 5, and with the Mosport mistake, moved him in the 3rd. Now trying to track down Halo, who's having his own handful of problems. Hasn't wrecked or anything yet, and hopefully that won't be the case, but definitely having a hard time on parts in this track. And right now, Nick T is definitely catching the guy, so we'll find out what Halo's going to do here, as a quarter of the race is down. And Halo will take a pit stop, so that will put Nick T up to 2nd. And Markey should be getting up to the 3rd. Markey off the track! Getting loose off the final turn, and he will enter the pits. So now we'll definitely shake things up here, and Eric Speed is going to swing on by to take over the 5th place position, but here he comes, or I'm sorry, the 4th place position, and here he comes trying to track down Halo. The two most consistent drivers on the track right now, 1st and 3rd. Nick T as well has been pretty consistent, but he had some earlier mistakes, a little bit of iffy spots on the track, but nonetheless, almost everybody's taken its toll on this racetrack. Let's pull up the race info there. It looks like Eric Speed's going to be needing to make a pit stop here soon. So we definitely know he hasn't made his first pit stop yet. So Halo doesn't really have to worry about him a whole lot as of right now. Of course, a track to be tamed can change the racing game, and he will make a pit stop. The Epic Racer, we haven't talked a whole lot about him, a new face here in the series, driving that Audi. He's got SSR Markey right behind him. Not sure if Epic made a pit stop just yet. I would assume he had. Oh, and as I say that, he's making a pit stop. So SSR Modsport, after the early mistake, he's back here in 7th. Now going to probably take over 5th after passing these 2 guys in the pits. So he'll be behind Markey, who's currently in 4th now. I'm sorry. Yes, he's in 4th. So Eric Speed right there in 5th. So Eric actually getting out before Modsport catches up. Markey off the track, gets side by side. Eric Speed, Markey. And it's a 3-car battle for the 4th position. Markey having all types of handling issues so far in this race. We see him go off about lap 1 or 2, and about lap 11, 12, 13 here, he's just been struggling. So Eric Speed trying to take on the 2 SSR drivers. He's had his early issues, but he's been able to maintain the car since. Markey trying to get himself away, and he's done it, but Eric Speed goes off the track. Barely missing the wall, was able to control the car, so he'll be out of that little battle now. So Modsport now trying to track down Markey here. And Markey hitting a couple coats there, almost went into that one of the other configurations of the track, pit lane there. Markey just all over the track right now. It just seems like Markey's confidence has kind of drifted away with the issues he's had in this race, but nonetheless he's been able to maintain the car enough to keep out front. The only car a lap down is 2 laps down, that'd be Speed Bumps 96. Back there in 9th with Zombie, who disconnected out of the race earlier. So leaving 9 cars on the track, 8 of them on the lead lap. Monster, the next car to possibly go down a lap in this race. And go back and see where he's at, and right there, he's not too far from the race leader. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he is pretty far from the race leader, so he's okay. But Speed Bumps is looking to go down for a 3rd lap here as the man behind him, the race leader, is catching up, and up there in 6th, Eric Speed trying to regain what happened to him a little bit ago in the 3-car battle. Modsport, who's trying to basically bounce back after early issues in this race. We're at the halfway point. Markey getting loose off of the apex. Almost completely spins out, and Modsport will take over the 4th position. That was very close there. Two top-tier drivers in this series, almost both colliding. 2 drivers from the same team, obviously racing for themselves in the series, but nonetheless, Markey almost spinning out right in front of Modsport. Modsport having hit the brakes. Markey with the incredible save to not lose too much time, other than just a position to where he's not so far back, but these 2 drivers, the unfortunate mistakes early on in this race and midway, it's definitely showing and definitely taking effect. And Nick T starting to lose some ground on Halo, and Halo able to get a little bit of a gap right there. Right behind Nick, you see Speed Bumps. Now we'll go back to the 4th place battle, and that's between SSR drivers Modsport and Markey. Modsport, really the only mistake Modsport has made is running into the tire barrier earlier, which gave him a lot of damage, which is one of the reasons why he was so far back. And now with Markey behind him, giving him a little bit of pressure, but Markey's had nothing but issues all race long. He went off the track early in the race, missing almost just barely saving the car off the final turn a couple laps ago. Not only that, but throughout these first 15 laps, he's been nothing but struggling with the car, but he's right there. He's not backing down, and that's, you know, we were talking about possibly having confidence issues. It doesn't look like he's lost confidence. He's just trying to keep the car on the track and pushing the car to as big of an extent as possible. And these two drivers, top three in the points right now, just really going at it. Mosport knows he has to get in front of Markey. He has to stay in front of him. And with the early mistake, it's just not helping points-wise. And there's Markey. Markey just hanging on. Markey all over the track. Got really, really loose there. Mosport still doing some defense. Markey's still all over him. And we haven't gone anywhere else just yet. Halo's starting to drift away from Nick T, and Godley clearly out front of everybody else. Monster going down first lap so far today, and stay on this battle, as it's the only real battle we have on the track right now. And these two have just not drifted from one another yet. Mosport just playing defense. Markey just all over him, and hasn't really had an opportunity just yet to get around him. Taking the same line. Mosport hanging on the car, got a little loose there. Looks like Markey's trying to do a little less, you know, a little later in the brakes, and I think it's showing he's taking a little bit wider lines through the turns. And Mosport's really just defending the inside line. Markey getting a little loose. Holds onto the car though. And Markey goes off the track again! Another mistake by SSR Markey. And it's just not been his day here at VIR. And Eric Speed, coming off the final turn, he's trying so hard to gain ground on SSR Markey. Just hasn't been able to get the speed he's wanted. Right there, not too far behind. And now the field is pretty much spaced out. You see right there on the race map, third, Nick T lost a lot of ground on Halo there, who's been a very consistent driver today, as alongside Golly Drift, who's currently leading the race. Hasn't lost the lead yet. Halo knows you just gotta run consistent. If you can run consistent, the possibility of winning is right there, as pretty much everybody on the track has gotten a bit of it, and the only two people that really haven't been affected by it has been the top two cars. That would be Godly Drift and Mosport. So, you know, Godly has had some consistency issues the last few weeks. Not so much today. We haven't really followed him too much, but the gap has grown so much since the beginning of the race. And 12 laps to go. The second round of pit stops will be made. You see SSR Monster right there in front of Halo, who's starting to get up on him rather quickly. It's about a lap down. Speed Bumps is about 3 laps down. And obviously, Zombie wasn't able to finish the race, but nonetheless, still 9 cars on the track. Oh, and Monster! Whoa! Right in front of Halo! Just spun out and wrecked! Wonder if he got any damage on the car. We're gonna go check that out. And he did. He must have clipped something, because he is running into another tire barrier. Unfortunate circumstances for SSR Monster now, as he's gonna have to get himself around and get into the pits. Speed Bumps, who's been a few laps down this race, just trying to get through it and make his way to the finish. And your race leader, SSR Golly Drift, staying on the track again. He's got about 40% left in fuel. But there's nothing but sensational so far here throughout the race as we get through the halfway point, about the final quarter of the race. And just, Golly's really cruising. No problems, no mistakes. It's like a Sunday cruise. Coming out of the pits with the SSR Monster now. Making that pit stop due to the issues he's had. The Epic Racer coming around the final turn. It looks like, oh! And it was Speed Bumps. Must have got loose and spun out. So the Epic Racer looking like he's the next one to meet the wrath of a lap down in this race, as Golly Drift is now probably a couple thousand feet from him, if not inside the 1,000 margin. And Eric Speed up to 5th. Markey with another mistake. So Eric Speed taking over the 5th position. This has been the headline of the race, is SSR Markey has nothing but difficulties all race long. Eric Speed trying to get his first top 5 ever in the series in Mosport in pit road, so that will move Eric up to 3rd now. Markey will stay out on the racetrack, so Mosport taking his final pit stop of the race with 10 to go. So can Eric Speed hold off SSR Markey this would be a pretty big story if Eric Speed can defend off SSR Markey to get his first top 5 of the season, and Markey is just doing everything he can to get back up to the front and contend for points, and golly, Drift has just done nothing but run away. Just hanging on. Oh! And a big accident! SSR Markey and Eric Speed! Wow! Wow. That was another incident. It looked like Eric Speed was getting ready to make his pit stop and just got a little loose off the exit. And when he cut back across the track, it looked like there was just nowhere to go, and Markey just getting right into him, but luckily for Markey, his car just kept going straight through into the pits. And it looked like both of them were making a pit stop anyways, so kind of worked out for both of the drivers. With 3 cars some laps down and a DNF, only 6 cars remain on the track that are on the lead lap, I should say. And Halo now trying to catch up as Golly Drift, the first place car in the pits, as the Epic Racer as well, making his final pit stop of the race. So here he comes. Golly Drift out of the pits and speed bumps right there. As speed bumps on the outside, not going to really challenge him a whole lot, knowing he's the leader. And it looked like speed bumps spun out, and he did. So the question is, can Golly remain unscathed here at Virginia? He's done a very good job of being consistent and staying out of trouble. All he has to do is remain that way, and he'll be the winner here at VIR. Two guys that have really ran into each other a lot this season, that'd be Monster and Eric Speed. Not doing a whole lot of battling here tonight. It's been really tough for Monster, and Eric, who has ran pretty consistent, but has struggled quite a bit. Markey, who's shown nothing but inconsistency all race long, definitely doesn't want to make a similar mistake again, as he's in the top 5, and I'm sure he's pretty much going to settle for what he's at now. I'm sure he's not going to give up, though. Points leader, knows what it's worth, and it's far from over for him, but only about 7 laps to go here. Nick T, currently 3rd place. He's pretty much lost Halo. He was gaining on him earlier, and it seemed like Halo must have found something, because he hasn't been near him since. And SSR Monster going off the track. Not what you want to see. Monster's down 2 laps, and he's going to be making a pit stop here. Eric Speed making mistakes, it looks like, and he's lost more ground on Markey. Godly drift all alone. Nobody around the guy. He is just running away with this race. There's nothing anyone can do about it unless he personally makes a mistake, and it would have to be a catastrophic mistake. I would say something about 100% engine damage at this point. And we hope not, but anything could happen. Everybody's met the wrath of this track besides him and Halo, and Halo's made some mistakes, but if we would have to say catastrophic mistakes, he was not part of any catastrophic disasters here. And I would say Nick T as well, but golly, definitely the most consistent driver on the track so far. So 5 laps to go. Golly Drift currently your race leader. MXR Halo Killboy in second. Third would be SSR Nick T. Fourth, SSR Mosport. Fifth, Markey. Fifth, or I say sixth would be Eric Speed. Seventh, the Epic Racer. Eighth, Monster. Ninth, Speed Bump. And 10th would be LCM Zombie. Former LCM driver. I should say he hasn't got his gamer tag just changed yet. And more mistakes. It looks like Monster off the track again. And he is 100% across the board. So an unfortunate day for the SSR driver. And I gotta wonder, will Speed Bumps be able to gain ground on him? Monster still got, it's near the, he's got quite a bit of track to go here. I'm sure Speed Bumps is highly aware of this, and but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. He's still one more lap down than Monster. Eric Speed back in pit road. Nick T now moved up a little bit. He's behind Speed Bumps. And Speed Bumps will respectively let him on by. Nick T looking to finish in the top 3 here. Would probably be one of his best finishes, if not the best finish of the season for Nick T. There's Monster in the pits. He's had a day to remember, that's for sure. speed bumps now, getting in front of him and before he exits pits. Now, if Monster makes another mistake like that again early in the track, these two will possibly battle for that 8th position at the end of the race. And it looks like Mosport now by speed bumps. Probably the same time. Oh, speed bumps! Gets loose! He spins out right in front of Mosport. That is the second time today that Mosport was right on the rear bumper of another driver and almost crashing right into him. He's been very self-aware of the situation and kept himself out of trouble there. The first incident was with Markey, and that second incident right there, Speed Bumps, who was really trying to get some ground on Monster, who's been struggling the last quarter of the race. Just, wow, that was another close call for the driver, and it looks like Monster now is with him now. And it doesn't matter, Monster gets around him, and Speed Bumps is off the track again. Wow. What a day for Speed Bumps, as he's struggled so much here tonight, and I'm sure he's ready to get on out of here with this track, as it's been nothing but a nightmare for a few of these drivers. Two laps to go. And you can see that gap between second and first. And Halo's done a very good job here today, running a pretty consistent race. Had a couple of hiccups, nothing major. I'm sure at this point of the race, he's running quick times, but golly's just done nothing but annihilated the field with consistent speed. No major mistakes, and Halo's got to be happy, as there's only 2 laps left now. Anything can happen. I'm sure he's hoping right now, please don't jinx me, but knock on some wood, but nonetheless, a really consistent race for him. And another surprise for Nick T. Wouldn't be so surprising. A very good driver, just kept himself out of trouble. I mean, he's one of those few drivers today that has kept himself out of the problems, and the results are showing for him. Now, after that, the top 3, Mosport, who's had his fair share. He ran into the tire wall earlier. SSR Markey, who's been all over the track the entire race, has pretty much struggled. Eric Speed, the last car on the lead lap, had his fair of issues. Monster, Speed Bump, and Zombie, who's not in the race anymore. We have another driver out, the Epic Racer with a DNF. Not sure what happened to him. He's out of this race. And with 1 lap to go, and they have Nick Teen, though, is starting to get chased down by Mosport. Not sure if he can get to him unless Nick makes another mistake. Oh, wait! Oh, I thought for a second that he was off the track. So Nick just trying to fend off Mosport. And here comes Golly Drift. And the white flag is in the air. 1 to go. Godly Drift, the race leader. He has seen nothing but open space all race long. 1 to go. And it looked like another driver. Oh, no. Okay, I thought for a second there we lost a driver on the track. It looked like Eric Speed was loose. Oh! The first time I've seen Godly get a little loose right there in turn 1 on the final lap. Got a little wiggly. But hold on. Godly just... What can you say about this race? A dominating performance. He's been sensational all race long. This is truly probably one of his favorite wins, and probably a great bounce back after the last couple of weeks of just rough racing for the guy. He was able to capitalize on those hiccups, but this has definitely been his probably best, if not signature win for him. He has won back in the MEA GT Championship Series, and he's had one this season in the Prototype Series, and now looking for a second one on the season as the season comes to an end. And you know, he said he just wasn't going to give up even though the last few weeks have not gone his way. And what a dominating performance. This has been definitely a special race for him. Nick T looks like he's going to hold off Modsport there, and here he comes around the final few turns of the race. Started on the pole, has never lost the lead once, dominated, and here he comes, SSR Golly Drift, as he crosses the finish line to get his second win in the MEA Prototype Challenge, and a little celebration as he crosses the line. Congratulations to SSR Golly Drift on his second win of the season, and just stay tuned as we will talk to the drivers after the race. MXR Halo Killboy, not sure what that was about there, but nonetheless, getting a second place finish. And there he is, as he finishes solidly on the race here tonight. Third place, SSR Nick T, consistently running all race long, and he will get the third position here at Virginia. And fourth place driver, wrecking into the tire wall early on, defended Markey. Markey him battled it out. Markey had all kinds of problems, and Mosport will finish fourth. SSR Markey, the fifth place car, now getting through his final couple of bends, will take the fifth place spot here, and probably a very, very disappointing run for him. I'm sure he wasn't very happy with today's race. Eric Speed, the last car in the lead lap, as he's coming down that final long straightaway, will take sixth. Monster will maintain the seventh place spot, as he's got three more laps to go. So actually, we have no idea what could happen here, but we'll definitely keep our eyes on these guys as they finish up the race, and we'll bring in the drivers who are currently on the who currently finished the top 5 as they finish up here, and so we will get them here momentarily. So just hang on tight as we have some race interviews coming up. So we'll bring those drivers on in here, as these two drivers, Monster and Speed Bumps, have about a few more laps to go. So we'll stay in the lobby to watch them as Monster going off the track. Monster into the wall! And Monster with more problems here at Virginia. Monster goes off the track. Looks like he doesn't get any damage, though. He definitely hit the wall here. So Monster just struggling. And it has not changed for him just yet. He's got a couple laps left, and if he can maintain the car, he can hang on to his 7th place spot over Speed Bumps. We have to get SSR Nick T in here next. We are getting a couple of the drivers in, so just stay tuned as we pull them in. And there's one other driver I have to get, and I believe that's Markey. So just hang on tight here. And it is Markey that I have to get a hold of, so we'll get him on in here, and while that's going on, we'll watch the remainder of this race as SSR Monster still has another lap to go here, but pulling on in the drivers now, and we'll actually get out of the race lobby so we don't get noise as these guys finish up. And for you guys that just joined the party, please put on your party audio for us, for the people to hear. Actually, let me put that option on because I don't have it on yet. Now it's on, so go ahead and check that box off. And I'm going to actually lock the party up so random people don't just join in. All right. So finishing in 5th place, we'll start with the 5th place driver. Your points leader here in the MEA Prototype Challenge, SSR Markey, with a 5th place finish here tonight. And Markey, I have to ask you, definitely not the race you were looking for. It was a struggle all race long for you. Early in the race, flying off the track, and then not too many laps later, about 10 laps later, same situation happened. And then you had an issue, Eric Speed and you both trying to get in the pits, but Eric got really loose, smashed into him as you were going into the pits. Not only that, almost wrecking not only you, but Mosport as you spun out on that same turn that Eric did right in front of you. Not the results you like to finish, but top 5 after all those instances. I'm sure you'll take that and walk away going into next week.
Yeah, well, it was not really my day today. Pretty inconsistent. Always off the track, so, well, top 5. I cannot ask for more. But yeah, well, that was a rough one.
And you know, you were very dominant this season, have a couple wins to show for it, and we talked about consistency, and tonight this has to be one of the hardest ones to swallow, the most inconsistent races to take in, and how do you bounce back from something like this? I know that you were hoping for a really good run, and it just didn't seem to be your day.
Well, a good night of sleep, and we'll see for next week. But yeah, I have to forget this week. It was not really my day. So yeah, keep focused, and we'll see next week.
All right, Marky. Well, congratulations on the top 5 after all the mistakes you've gone through today, and moving up the ladder to the 4th place driver, SSR Mosport. Once again, to all the drivers in the party to check that box off, just so we have it for the people that are watching. But Mosport, it seemed like you had a shot at it today with the early mistakes and some of the drivers, some of the top drivers, the threats of the race. And, it could have been anybody's race the way this race went today, but. You met the tire wall pretty hard earlier in the race, and after that, you never really had any issues. But there was 2 situations that I have to ask about. The Markey spinning out right in front of you, he did save it, but he came right across you, and you had to lay off. And then Eric Speed, I believe, or no, speed bumps, the same place. It just seemed like you had to dodge a bullet almost every lap, and it wasn't actually the same place. It was near the beginning of the track, but finishing 4th, I'm sure you wanted more, but definitely a wild race, and you were able to keep yourself up there in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping the race would go a little bit better than what it did, but I think I was having some computer issues or internet issues because my game was actually freezing. Every 10 to 20 seconds there would be a little spike of lag, and that was just really hard to race with. And so I did make some mistakes on my own, but some of those mistakes were because of that. So it was just a little bit frustrating, and yeah, dodging Markey was a little bit funny. I was kind of close, but I managed to stay away from him, and I guess 4th is the best I could do today, so I'm not complaining.
And take us over the speed bumps one, because that one seemed to be really close. I think that one was a little closer than the Markey incident.
I'll be honest, I was so focused at one point in the race, and I guess I can't really take you through that. I don't really know exactly what happened.
Well, nonetheless, top 5, 4th place finish. I think this is your worst finish in the season. So this is, even though it was a good result, it's definitely not your best result. But nonetheless, championship week coming up, you're in contention to win the championship. And even though it might seem like odds are completely against you, anything can happen. I'm sure you're going to look to focus in on that going into next week.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do my best, and I guess we'll see what happens next week.
Well, congratulations on top 5, finishing 4th, and moving up the ladder, finishing the race here tonight. SSR Nick T, and wow, one of the most consistent drivers of the race. Actually, there was out of all of the drivers that we considered, you were one of the top 3, and obviously finishing the top 3 of the 3 most consistent drivers of the race. Take us through your race, Nick. It seemed like early on there was a little bit of struggles, but pretty much outside of that, you didn't really have much to worry about. You got up to Halo, and it seemed like you were catching Halo there near the end, near about the midpoint, near the ending of the race, about the last quarter of the race. What happened? You were right there, and it just seemed like he must have got pace, or did you make some mistakes?
Yeah, I had a real rough start, got bumped first corner, just got lucky getting through traffic. A couple people crashed in front of me. I really didn't have the pace to keep up with him. Just got lucky, a couple laps to hang. He was constantly walking away from me, so really excited to finish 3rd. Definitely best finish, and finishing a little bit better than I should have if everyone didn't crash.
Right,
So,
you just said it. Your best finish of the season. I was just about to say it. You've been able to manage. I believe 5th place is your best this season. I could be wrong, maybe 4th. But
Yeah,
you've seen glimmers of chances to be higher up. And tonight you just ran a really consistent race. And like you said, very excited and definitely well deserved. Did you ever feel like at any point of the race though that you might have had a shot at getting up there if Godley or Halo would have made that mistake? Or made a mistake, I should say.
Halo made a mistake that put me close to him for a while, but he just slowly walked away from me. So then the rest of the race was making sure I kept Mosport behind me, and it's kind of glad to hear that his computer was glitching. That probably helped me out a little bit, keeping third.
Well, nonetheless, a top 3 for you and your first top 3 of the season. Congratulations as you go into next week for the final race and not in contention for a title, but looking to break some hearts, break some dreams, and maybe mix up the points a little bit, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations to you, Nick. And
Thanks.
as we go up the ladder again, runner-up and a surpriser late in the season joining us, MXR Halo Killboy, and I like to normally say just Halo for short. Halo, this is your second race in the season. Last week you weren't able to race with us. The week before, at I believe at Road Atlanta, you saw some early issues in that race that kept you so far back, and I believe you finished 7th in that race. I could be wrong. This is a pretty big bounce back from that race. Finishing 2nd, you had one of the top times, one of the top 5 times in qualifying, with a couple people that couldn't make the race. I believe you got bumped up. I might be wrong, or did you start runner up? I don't have my sheet right there, but regardless, got to start up on the front row, and you had your chances to keep up with, I believe, Godley, but it just seemed like Godley was so consistent, so fast. You were just trying to hold off for 2nd for the longest time. You had really no mistakes. Take us through your race. You got to be happy with a top 2 finish.
Yeah. I'm happy with it. The first corner for half the race, I kept losing grip and was losing like half a second to a second because I kind of go too wide and there's not a lot of grip if you go too wide. And then also I was trying to figure out the gearing like most of the race. I didn't really get enough practice in, so I was just kind of struggling the first half of the race, losing a lot of pace. And then the last I don't know, like stint of the race, I got my pace up and I was more consistent, and then I was able to finish strong.
Do you feel like if you would have had that pace you had late in the race, do you feel like that could have been a difference maker with Godley obviously winning this race, but do you feel like if you would have had that pace earlier in the race, do you think you could have challenged him for the win?
I don't think I could have challenged him necessarily for a win, but I would have definitely been closer. Yeah, I would have definitely been closer to him.
Well, nonetheless, this is your second race of the season, and going into the championship week, obviously not being able to compete for the title, but you're definitely looking to possibly get your first win of the season. This second place finish from your first week with us is a big recovery. What are you looking forward going into the final week of the season?
Final week, I guess, again, like, trying to get a win would probably be the best, but I guess finishing top 3 is my main goal.
Well, nonetheless, you had a really good race tonight, very consistent race, so congratulations to you getting that second place finish, and we'll see you next week as the remainder of the season comes to an end, ladies and gentlemen, with 1 week to go. So congratulations to Halo on your second place finish here tonight. And the man of the hour, SSR Godley Drift, top qualifier, started the race from first to finish, never looked back, ran away with this one. Godley, we talked the last few weeks, consistency, and you talked about how disappointing those last few weeks have been. In your interviews, you weren't very happy with it, and in those races, you were able to manage, I believe, every top 5 you could, but tonight was definitely a turnaround from those races, and just walk us through. It seemed like everybody on the track had something go wrong in this race for them besides you. Halo had a little hiccup, nothing too major. Nick and the rest of the field, but you never seemed to have an issue. And just where did you get the pace from? Where did you get the confidence from? And those last 2 weeks, I'm sure this is a huge bounce back.
I think basically just being that annoyed after the last couple of weeks, just was like, I am just going to practice the crap out of this circuit. It's one I quite enjoy it in the GT endurance lobbies, and they just kind of made sure I always kind of, if I could get away from everybody, just focus on my own race and kind of just, if I made a couple of mistakes, I wasn't completely flawless, but because I didn't have that kind of someone right behind me. I was able to like recover and then get going again. So it was kind of just having that like ability to just recover from the mistake and get going again. But just tried to make sure first stint and just try and make the gap, and then it paid off.
And right there on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, it obviously has Nick T below there in a DNF. He actually left before the end of the race, so that's why that's the way it is right now. But he is third on that list. But nonetheless, going back to you, Godley, it just seemed like there was never anyone around you this race. It seemed like every pit stop you made, you were just alone. Just take us through. How boring could that have been? Or, I gotta ask, when you're out front like that, you're way out front of the pack, and no one's around you, is it harder to be more focused in because you're by yourself, or do you like to be that way? Or would you rather have somebody pushing you when it comes to focus?
It's good to always have someone there to like push you, so that you can't really get complacent and make those like wee mistakes you really shouldn't be. But then again, it's the pressure of having someone on you can make you like have those wee mistakes. I think there was like the odd time I maybe like dipped the wheel off, but that kind of like from just practice, you're used to that solo kind of running. You're kind of like used to, right, I just have to get to the next pit stop and then just set wee like markers to try and keep focused.
Well, nonetheless, Golly, congratulations on your second win this season and your third win in MEA history. And, going into next week, I believe you're also out of the contention, but you're definitely going to look forward to trying to pull off another win. And I don't believe anybody besides HCR Yuko this season has been able to pull off back-to-back wins. So I'm sure you're going to do everything in your power to finish off the season strongly and possibly get that third win.
I will certainly give it a go. Could be difficult in Road America, but can't but try.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations. And for all of you watching here tonight, we thank you as SSR Godly Drift, your race winner, MXR Halo Killboy, the second place runner-up, third place SSR Nick T, then Mosport, Marky, and then Eric Speed finishing 6th. 7th would be SSR Monster, 8th would be Speed Bumps, 9th would be the Epic Racer, and rounding out your top 10 here tonight would be Zombie, formerly known as LSCM Zombie. I'm SSR Mayhem, and I appreciate everyone that's watching tonight. Championship week, next week, be here, same time, same place, 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern start time, and I believe the clock's going backwards a little bit, so tonight the British time was an hour earlier than used to be, but we'll go back to normal next week for 11 p.m. I'm SSR Mayhem, and from MEA staff, from the drivers to the commentary booth, I wish you all a great night.